Hey guys, welcome to Astrology Experts. This video is brought to you by you, of course. You're the reason why we're doing this. We know that relationships can be super complex, so let's check on the stars for guidance. Get your coffee and tea ready, and let's get on with the video. Here's an understatement for you. Aquarius and Scorpio are both very wild in nature. This relationship can induce the kind of complete and total abandon from which the most famous romance novels have been inspired. Let's not forget that most of these novels ended in tragedy. Emotions and values. Let's go over the basics. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, which means they are influenced by intense electrical impulses from the cosmos. The result, as one might imagine, involves violent shifts in mood that influence Aquarian logic. Scorpio is ruled by Fury, aggressive Mars, and dark, quietly intense Pluto. It's inevitable that Scorpio's mind and soul will probe into the dark mysteries of life and death. This gives rise to cynicism and even depression at times. However, as an air sign, Aquarius lives at a certain distance from his emotions. As a water sign, Scorpio is immersed in them. There is naturally a clear, flowing channel connecting Scorpio to his own soul's depth. That's why so many of them vacillate between overtaken by emotions and dissociating completely, as well as opening up completely and then closing. To a degree, Aquarians do this too. Balance and understanding can come easily to this pair at times. However, at the drop of a hat, the tables can turn, and neither of these fixed zodiac signs is willing to compromise. Compatibility rating 7 out of 10. Friendships. Although Aquarius may initially distrust Scorpio, they have more in common than first impression suggests. If they take the time to get to know each other, this friendship will be rooted in emotional understanding. Yet, they also have stark differences that can and will lead to conflict sometimes. However, friendship between Scorpio and Aquarius usually fares better than romance. Although this is a powerful relationship in any capacity, friendship allows these two the freedom to be different. On the contrary, romantic relationships makes demands of them they may not be prepared to meet. Compatibility rating 7 out of 10. Relationships. When Scorpios open up, they tend to do it all at once. This can feel to them like being sliced open with their vulnerable core exposed. When this process triggers fear, Scorpio can really give his lover the hot and cold treatment. Aquarius, who is secretly terrified of the kind of intimacy Scorpio seems to be secretly drowning in, might initially distrust Scorpio. After all, intuitive Aquarius picks up on the fact that the Scorpions seems to represent everything the water bearer fears most. Still, there is undeniably strong energy between them. Scorpio admires the water bearer's humanitarianism, but wishes he would focus more of his attention on her than his ever-expanding network of friends and causes. Scorpio, who sometimes appears self-involved or even selfish to Aquarius, is often possessive. But elementally speaking, water cannot drown air. Likewise, a Scorpio who tries to possess or repress Aquarius will discover that the water bearer's freedom is as limitless and widely diffused as air itself. Accepting freedom and lack of control is a hard pill to swallow for Scorpio, whose dark moods and fears make him feel so essentially out of control. In order to find peace in their connection, Aquarius and Scorpio have to actively surrender to love as a force greater than themselves that's beyond their control. The bond between them is usually intense enough to demand that kind of transformative action. Otherwise, they will play mind games with each other. This look can manifest as Aquarius drifting off onto other planets of his own imagining, and Scorpio alternately freezing her lover to ice and trying to immerse him in her deep well of emotion. Compatibility rating 6 out of 10. Loving this video so far? Please hit subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you won't miss a video whenever we update. Marriage. Whether marriage can work between these two depends on their ability to be honest with themselves and each other and actively process the fears they bring out in one another. If they act purely on instinct, lashing out like children to have their needs met, even the deepest bond between them will be destructive. A marriage between Scorpio and Aquarius may never achieve the evenness of some other, less temperate couples. However, if their bond stays solid through the high peaks and steep valleys, they will eventually know trust and contentment. Compatibility rating 7 out of 10. Communication. Communication can make or break this relationship. Aquarius prides himself on being objective and believes that emotion unnecessarily clouds truth. The water bearer often cannot comprehend that sometimes Scorpio does things that don't make sense out of emotion. To Aquarius, if it doesn't make sense to do something, one simply shouldn't do it. Of course, Aquarius doesn't readily understand that many of his own perceptions are influenced by emotions as well. A gentle reminder to Aquarius, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, the planet of mystery and darkness. Thus, Scorpio can be emotionally manipulative at times. Aquarius considers himself a straight shooter and may even feel morally disgusted by manipulation. The bottom line is that these two need to be able to talk openly about their feelings and understand where the other is coming from before they speak or act, not afterward. Compatibility rating 3 out of 10. Sex and intimacy. Both Aquarius and Scorpio don't place restrictions or conventions on their sexuality. Thus, ultimate sexual freedom is within their reach. For them, the bedroom can become a war zone that reflects their conflicts and power struggle. However, sexuality can also be a sacred space where pure love flows between them, bringing each peace. As fixed signs, they need to remember that any healthy, fulfilling sexual relationship involves making spontaneous and calculated adjustments based on the other's needs. Compatibility rating 9 out of 10. Aquarius, Scorpio compatibility pros. When these two truly fall for each other, this connection has a spiritual quality that excavates and heals old wounds. The relationship between Scorpio and Aquarius is often highly empathetic. Because they're both fixed signs, they're very eager to see their relationship work once they've invested themselves in it. Aquarius and Scorpio compatibility cons. Aquarius's detachment can deeply hurt Scorpio. Scorpio's possessiveness could cause Aquarius to detach even further until the relationship explodes for good. Both of these signs display hot tempers. But if Scorpio becomes vengeful, he can lose Aquarius forever. Because Aquarius and Scorpio trigger each other's fears, their relationship can be conflicted. Summary of Aquarius and Scorpio. There is a lot to be gained or lost in this relationship. Whether an intense bond like this can last depends heavily on where Scorpio and Aquarius are in life and how well they're doing as individuals. If one is on a much lower level of maturity than the other, the chances of this relationship lasting or being healthy are smaller. When both partners are self-aware, have generally healthy self-esteem, and are able to communicate clearly, this bond has potential for lasting happiness. Overall compatibility rating 5 out of 10.